Praise be to Jesus. Well, I'm back with you here this morning. We're going to get back into the other big story, which is the sex abuse scandal and what's going on there. Well, let's see. A priest has written something in his bulletin where he's very outspoken about the Lavender Mafia and what's going on there. Now, how he knows this, I don't know exactly, but here, the headline here is Evil Gay Bishops Persecute Blackmail Faithful Priests Who Might Expose Their Secret. This is a priest in Tampa, Florida. So the article starts. Evil homosexual bishops set out to punish, humiliate, and blackmail decent, God fearing priests if these threaten to blow the whistle on the gay mafia within the Roman Catholic Church, says a parish priest. In the bulletin and on the website of the Epiphany of Our Lord Roman Catholic Church, Father Edwin Palka does not mince words about the terrible extent of the damage done by what he calls the gay Lavender Mafia within the church. His writing offers light on why the sexual abuse crisis within the U.S. church has continued to rage unabated for decades. Many people still don't, I believe most priests still don't, understand just how evil the active homosexual or homosexual activist priests and bishops are, writes the pastor of the Tampa, Florida parish. Not understanding the extent of their depravity in wrongly thinking that they are simply normal men who just struggle with their sexual desires and sometimes might fail to remain chaste, but are really truly repentant when it happens and strive to confess my sins and do penance and to amend my life, as we say in confession. They cannot possibly grasp the hellish depths to which homosexual activist clergy will go to persecute, lambaste, punish, humiliate, and blackmail anyone who stands in their way or threatens their way of life, writes Palka. Estimates of the number of priests who are homosexuals vary widely. In one article, an associate professor of religious studies at John Carroll University warned as far as back 16 years ago that studies suggested the percentage of Catholic priests who are homosexuals could be as high as 50%. That's roughly 16 times more than the percentage of gay men in the general population. Well, the article goes on here, if you. There's a link here to the website bulletin. If you want to read exactly what he wrote, you can do that. Well, so I don't know. I would think that the priest must know something, or else he wouldn't be publicly stating this, So I don't think it says anywhere in the article or whatever where he's getting his information from. So we want to be careful about this sort of thing. It is a priest, but still we should be careful. But this fits in right in what we think anyway. Um, I mean, I don't know about blackmailing. I don't know how far all this goes. I mean, I'm sure there are things going on that we don't know anything about. Anyway, so then I ran across this article here. Now, this is from Christine Niles at Church Militant. And the headline here is Catholic Me Too. Will Cardinal Wuerl be the next one to fall? Now, Cardinal Wuerl, here, let's read a little bit this to you. As the nation awaits the release of the bombshell Pennsylvania grand jury report, some are wondering whether Washington, D.C.'s Cardinal Donald Wuerl will be the next cleric to fall after Cardinal Theodore McCarrick. Wuerl was Bishop of Pittsburgh for nearly 2 decades from 1988 to 2006, one of the 6 dioceses investigated in the grand jury report. As many as 300 predator priests from all 6 dioceses are named, but Pittsburgh stands out for supplying the largest share, nearly 1/3 of the total number. According to reports, at least 90 priests in Pittsburgh alone are implicated in the findings. And, a fact largely unknown to the public, Wuerl was named in multiple lawsuits during his tenure there, accused of conspiring to cover up sex abuse. So, Christine now, she does her homework. So, this is really a very long article. I don't know what all's in it, but, I'm just trying to give you some idea what's going on here. Well, what I think is that this is very frustrating. You know, I think the reason maybe Trump got into office, or at least part of the reason, is people had a sense of, well, other than the hand of God at work, but I think God helped people realize that, Obama was leading us in the wrong direction, and so forth and so on. But anyway, in in government, you can vote people out and vote a new government in, or senators or whatever. With the church, you can't do that. So uh, as laity, there's really, I mean, other than pray and fast, and I don't want to downplay any of that for sure. I mean, I think if more of us, I mean, a lot more maybe, but I don't know, at least more of us would pray and fast that Jesus would uncover this sewer or this swamp that is entrenched in the hierarchy of the church. Then he'll do it. He'll do it if we pray enough. And so, if you want to think about, we shouldn't be sitting there going, oh well, there's really nothing we can do about it. We can do something about it. Now, I don't want to like toot my horn, but I usually talk. I usually don't suggest things to people unless I do them myself. Okay, and I I pray for priests every day. Now, for months, for the last several months, I've been praying like that's all I do is well, it's not. It's the only thing I really pray for are priests. I pray like 3 hours a day, in between making videos and doing other things that I have to, other responsibilities. Um, now I've cut that down. Now I'm just really I don't know whether it's the enemy trying to take my prayer away from me or what, but I'm finding it really difficult to pray. And so far today, which is, later in the morning, I've only prayed an hour, about half an hour, and that's, so I'm like way behind. But, I don't know if you ever feel like sometimes you really don't feel like praying, and when you force yourself to do so, it's just like, yikes, I just can't, I just can't pray. I don't know if any of you have that kind of experience, but I have, and I've had it many a time. And, then I'll go on a run where I'll be able to pray for hours a day for priests. Um, but anyway, if you could all think about, um, praying more for priests. Now, what really, the spirituality I have is really based on something that Jesus told. I think it's St. Catherine of Siena. I had read this once, and in years past, I tried to look it up again. And I just can't find it anywhere. But what he told her was that you help me with my work, and I'll help you with yours. Now we know Christ's work is saving souls. So if we help Christ save souls, he will help us with, our work, which is, becoming obedient, overcoming sin, things like this. So I've always operated on that. So unless someone asks me to pray for them specifically, um, and if I say yes, I will, I usually ask Jesus to apply some of my work, my internet work, not really my prayers for priests, but really my internet work, which I do a lot more than, what's on the channel here. But anyway, so I spend the whole day and evening every day doing this sort of thing, and in between I take a half hour and pray, and to get my prayers in. But you know, I know a lot of you like pray for your families and pray for friends and different sorts of things, but if you if you really want to please Christ and really want to help not only God, but help the church, you could pray to Jesus to over, to um, to expose the swamp that's in the church, and the more prayers Jesus gets concerning this, the more he's able to do. I mean, we all know that. We know that's how things work. So, I just want to encourage all of you to pray more for um, priests. And, I mean, the other really good reason to pray for priests is that they influence so many people. You get up there, and depending on what they say in a homily, they influence a lot of people. So by helping priests, you really can help, you know, help Jesus, help the priests to help other people, get on the right track or stay on the right track or whatever. So we can't vote these. You know, it's really going to take the Pope, I think, and he really hasn't shown any signs that he's willing to tackle this. Now, when it comes to his attention, like Cardinal McCarrick, let's not make a big deal out of him asking for the Cardinal's resignation. I mean, the Pope's back was up against the wall. I mean, what is he going to do? Nothing. I mean, he's got to do something. Um, have we heard anything from the Vatican about, they're putting together the evidence to bring him before the I don't know, the Vatican Supreme. I mean the Supreme Court. Um, to do something about this or whatever they do. I mean, I'm not that knowledgeable with all this kind of thing, but no, we haven't heard anything. See, it's like just So the Pope, and then with what happened in Chile with all those priests offering their resignations, he accepted some of them, others he didn't, or most of them actually he didn't. Um, so he's not really. Taking a lead and doing something about this. He's really not. He's not really doing anything. And you know, the people who are involved with this aren't going to do anything about it, you know, and unless there are a lot of priests and a lot of bishops around the world who are willing to speak up and apply some pressure. And I don't really see that happening. I think there's really a lot of fear, in the clergy right now, and they're afraid, for different reasons. Or, we can talk about that, but I mean, I think some of them are pretty obvious why they're afraid to speak up. So, I think the only real way that I see to really get this mess exposed, and there'll be a lot more of it, I would think, and so the church can put this aside and you know, ask for the resignations of whoever is involved with this Lavender Mafia. Um, the only one who can really expose this is Jesus Christ. I mean, God can do this kind of thing, I mean, it's amazing, but, he's got it all worked out. He just needs the prayers. So, if we could have, the more we do to help him out, the better off. It's a wonderful way of helping the church, knowing that you're giving Jesus what he needs to do what we desperately need, which is get this mess cleaned up. We got enough problems in the church with what the Pope's doing, and this is another extremely serious thing that isn't going to go away, and it's just being dealt with case by case basis. No one's I don't think any human being is going to, or group of human beings is going to take this on. Jesus Christ is going to take it on for us. And if we really care about our church, we should really be praying to Jesus, for him to do something about this, like come to our aid. Um, there's a prayer that I like to Mother Mary. But it has to do with come to our aid, because we really need her help too. So anyway, so that's what's going on there, and so I got both of those things in. Well, I think things will probably be quiet. I think I pretty much covered everything this week, so they'll probably be quiet for the rest of the weekend. But if there's something to talk about, I'll be back on the air. So enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you next time.